All right, let's talk about getting unstuck. We're going to dive into a really powerful way of looking at why we get stuck in the first place, and way more importantly, how we can actually start moving forward again. You know that feeling, right? Where some parts of your life are just crushing it, while other parts feel like they're spinning their wheels. Maybe your career's on fire, but your relationships are stuck in the same old argument. Or you start that new workout routine, you're all in, and then a month later, poof, you're right back where you started. It's like you know what you want, but your life just refuses to get with the program. But what if that feeling isn't about you failing? What if you're not broken, or lazy, or doing something wrong? What if it's just a signal, a sign that you're out of sync with the way growth naturally happens? That right there, that's the big idea we're going to unpack.
Okay, first things first. Before we can get unstuck, we've got to understand what's keeping us there. We're going to look at the patterns, the sort of invisible rules behind how we grow and heal, and figure out how a life that feels all over the place can start to feel whole again.
So here's the first big shift in thinking. Your life is always being created. Right now, this very second. It's being shaped by every choice you make, big or small. The goal here is to learn to see the 9 core patterns, the laws, if you will, of how that creation works. It's about going from being a passenger in your own life to being the one with your hands on the wheel. Now, before we jump into all 9 laws, there's one single idea that we have to talk about first, because honestly, it's the engine that makes everything else work. It's the key that unlocks the whole thing. And that key is agency. It's your power to choose. Simple, right? But it's so much more than that. It's not just reacting to stuff that happens to you. It's about consciously, actively choosing to line up with what you know is true, with what brings you wholeness. Think about it. You can't build trust if you don't choose to be honest. You can't heal if you don't choose to face what hurts. Absolutely nothing meaningful in life just happens by accident. Okay, look at this. This really breaks it down. Life is always making offers. It could be an opportunity, a tough truth you need to hear, or a great new idea. But that offer, it just sits there. It has zero power on its own. It needs you. It needs your acceptance. Real change doesn't happen when a door opens. It happens when you choose to walk through it.
And that leads us to this huge aha moment. The possibility of something better doesn't change you. Participating in it does. A better life isn't about what you could have, it's about what you consciously choose to be a part of. Man, that shift right there, it changes the whole game.
All right, so now that we get it, our power is in our participation, let's look at the map for the journey. These 9 laws aren't just some random list. Nope. They fit together perfectly into 3 stages of growth, giving us a clear path from starting something new all the way to seeing it come to life. And it's such a natural flow. First, you have the beginning. This is where you form a new pattern. Then you move into the refining, where you test it and make it stronger. And finally, you get to the fulfilling, which is where that new pattern actually starts to bear fruit and change you from the inside out. Figuring out which stage you're in, that's so important.
So, to really get a feel for how this map works, let's pull out a key law from the beginning stage. Let's talk about the real engine of this first phase.
And that is the law of compound. This is simply how small things grow into big things. It's the magic, or maybe the curse, that turns tiny, repeated choices into massive habits and beliefs. I mean, think about it. Your life isn't really shaped by one huge dramatic event. It's shaped by the tiny things you do or don't do every single day. Little bits of resentment, they compound. But you know what? So does a little bit of forgiveness. It works both ways. Which brings us to this incredibly simple but powerful truth. What you repeat, you become. It's that simple. Having one honest conversation probably won't fix a struggling relationship. But a pattern of honesty, week after week, that compounds into real solid trust. The life you're living right now, it's really just the grand total of all your repeated choices. So here's a question for you, and it's a big one. What is quietly compounding in your life right this very minute? For good or for bad? What are those little things you're doing every day that are building the life you want, or maybe a life you're trying to get away from? Okay, so after that beginning stage, we'd normally move into refining. That's all about making those little adjustments and just keeping going. But let's jump ahead for a second to the final stage, fulfilling. Because this is where things can get really intense. This is the stage where all your hard work starts to pay off. But one of its most powerful and, let's be honest, most challenging laws is the law of cross. This is all about passing through a necessary threshold, a moment of real discomfort, or sacrifice, or surrender, in order to become something new on the other side.
It's that moment you finally cross from denial into truth, or from who you used to be into who you're becoming. And this is such a powerful reframe. We're wired to think that discomfort means we're on the wrong track, right? That we should turn back. But what if that hard time you're going through isn't a sign you're off the path? What if the discomfort is the path? That tough conversation you keep putting off, that might just be the exact threshold you have to cross to get to the other side.
So let me ask you this, and be really honest with yourself. What hard threshold is life asking you to cross right now? What is that thing you're trying to go around when really you need to go through it? Okay, so we've talked about your power to choose, your agency, and we've dipped our toes into a couple of these powerful laws. Now, let's get super practical. Let's use this whole framework as a map to figure out exactly where you are and what you need to do next. These questions are like a "you are here" sticker for your life. Just listen to them and see which one resonates. Do you need to combine, like bring the person you are on the weekend into your work week? Do you need to correct something you know is off kilter? Do you just need to continue, to hang in there and keep going? Is it time to culminate, to finally finish that thing you started? Or is it time to converge, to pull all the scattered parts of yourself back together so you can feel whole again?
And that really is the goal, isn't it? Wholeness. It's not about becoming perfect or having a life with no problems. It's about convergence. When your beliefs and your actions and your relationships, when they all start pointing in the same direction. That feeling of peace, it doesn't come from having no stress, it comes from being in alignment.
So listen, if you're feeling stuck, if you feel like you're in a million pieces, just remember this: you're not broken. You're probably just in the middle of a process, and you just didn't have the map until now. The challenges you're facing, they aren't random. They're actually signs pointing you to exactly which law, which pattern you need to work with next. All you have to do is listen and then choose to participate.
And that brings us to one last really powerful question. Don't try to fix everything all at once. Just look at the map. Based on where you are right now, what is the one single action you can take today to bring your life into just a little more alignment? What's that one choice? Because the second you decide to participate, you're no longer stuck, you're creating.